All right, so today, January 26th, we got our next patch. Most significantly, a bunch of people are happy that they can now store more things. In the highlights, that is exactly the first thing we're looking at. Store more stoof. We've increased the stash limit to 1,200 pounds, so you have enough or even more room for loot. So is it enough? We'll see. But we also have sort your inventory with ease. Stay on top of the gear you've been collecting by using 3 new tabs in your inventory: new, armor, and food and drink. And I'll get into that soon. I'm actually pretty excited about that as well. What's weighing you down from now on? When you select a stack of items in your inventory, the menu will show you the total weight of the stack. So that I was even recently mentioning that I can't wait for that to come out because of ammo sometimes weighing me down and trying to figure out which certain ammo I should drop more so than the next, and then I just wind up dropping everything. Again, we'll get into that soon. Know before you go, player vending machine tooltips on the map now display how many, let's say 1, 2, 3-star legendary items are selling. We have build mode color update, so now that's going to change from green to blue, so that's going to help people, especially players with color blindness, and now they can easily differentiate between valid and invalid placement. Now moving into the first part of this, we have the inventory and user interface improvements. Again, the inventory stash has been increased 50%, and now we are working with 1,200 pounds. It's going to help a ton. A few of my characters are, let's say, 800 out of 800 already. Now if I can kind of move things around a little easier, move some things to mule characters, whatever the case is, I shouldn't have a problem for a while. But already a good amount of people know me for hoarding stuff, so I guess don't hold me to that. New inventory tabs. We've added a few new tabs to your inventory menus so that you can better organize your gear from your snacks and stim packs to your outfits and armor. They also have the new tab. This tab will keep track of all the items you've gathered during a play session, sorted by newest to oldest. So kind of loot to your heart's desire, go through that, and then just drop stuff if like you can kind of see what you recently picked up. That'll be kind of useful as well, depending on how much, I don't know, anywhere from aid to junk, even ammo, depending on what you're hoarding, might help you just drop stuff quicker or see where big, let's say, portion of weight is coming in and why you should be dropping certain things. If you already have stackable items in your inventory, like steel scrap, the new steel scrap you pick up will not appear in the new tab. Instead, it'll be added to your existing stack. So, okay, that also starts to make sense too. So you don't have to keep getting an update. Now it weighs this, now it weighs this, something like that. Or like this is the newest item. Eventually, the new tab will reset if you leave your current world. Okay, good to know. Armor, we've split armor into its own menu tab so you can keep your defensive gear separate from your other apparel. I'm ecstatic about that. That combined with the vendor preview, and now we can kind of see the difference between what's armor and what is a legendary. It's going to make a huge difference. Plenty of times we see over a dozen items at a camp, let's say the apparel category, and then you get there just to find out that apparel was actually just a bunch of outfits. At least now, not only are those in different category in your Pip-Boy, they're also going to be shown at somebody's camp, and then from there you'll be able to sort things accordingly. Also, food and drink. Your food and drinks are now split from aid into their own food drinks inventory tab. I feel like that's been a feedback from early on. I feel like even a few months into the game, I remember mods coming out on the PC and previews of people being able to sort out their own stims and aid and all that so they can more easily access that. Same thing with armor and weapons, I suppose, or more so armor because you have a difference in sorting them. I think these kind of quality of life updates are also going to lead into them maybe separating thrown weapons. But now I'm also considering if armor and apparel just got this sort of quality of life update, how would you do the same for weapons? Weapons, I don't know if I'm the only person here frustrated with picking up a bunch of floater grenades and then having to confirm individually that I'd like to drop these things that I can no longer pick up upon dropping. I appreciate that. I do know some people do use them. I see and hear during certain events people using those sort of grenades, but I just want up dropping mine. I almost wish that I could put that in a separate category slash just not pick specifically those up somehow. I know that's kind of like maybe not related to the menu itself, but again, if I could separate those between a bunch of other weapons, that might be nice as well. Stack weight, again, what's weighing you down. And then in the Pip-Boy, you'll be able to see the individual weight and the stack weight. But I'll be able to quickly see what might be able to help you move faster, or if you can't fast travel, just drop something real quick based off of that. The vending machine map preview, again, like I was mentioning, you'll be able to see what people are selling. You'll have more information about the goodies you get before you actually get there. Also says additionally, vending machine categories that are empty will no longer appear in the tooltip to help you more easily see what types of items players do have for sale. So that's kind of nice too. There's actually been a few bases recently that I've gone to that are only selling not maps, sorry. It'll say like miscellaneous. Sometimes those people sell only serums. You might go to another camp, it might be only notes and plans and stuff like that, or even people that sell just ammo. So it'd be kind of nice to see only one thing, and then that person is trying to be known to sell those things. Again, maybe easier for people to spot that person out. Additional UI updates. The Atomic Shop says we've added a button to each category page in the Atomic Shop that will show or hide the items you already own, so you can browse what's still available with less clutter. So a few of us that have been here for a while and buying a bunch of stuff from the Atomic Shop are really going to appreciate this, being able to kind of sift through items a little faster. Um, we've seen a good amount of love to the Atomic Shop in terms of quality of life. The last major update that I can really call out is the ability to purchase something within a bundle, and then that affects the bundle price, so then you don't have to spend as much. It kind of scales the pricing to make a little more sense. And now we're seeing something like this, where we can kind of turn things on and off. I like the way that's gone so far. We have build mode visual improvements. We've changed the color of the outline that appears when you build objects in your camp from green to light blue. It should be more friendly for our builders who have color blindness. This change is only visible when the object you're trying to place is in a valid location, and invalid placement outlines are still red. For daily ops, now this is a big one as well. Elder tier rewards. In response to community feedback, we've adjusted daily ops rewards so that you will always receive an item from the rare rewards pool whenever you complete an op fast enough to reach Elder tier. So sometimes I run daily ops on 2 characters. If I'm really not having luck acquiring, I might, let's say, run on a third. I've been getting a lot of nuns and a lot of plans that I already have, whether it's the 94 stash box or vault suit or anything like that. So it's going to be nice to get like rare rewards. And again, I do hope it's the ones that I'm going to need. More on that soon. Spread the love. The new challenge and rewards, and I did not see this coming at all. Starting today and lasting until February 16th, you can claim a free Heart Wrencher skin for the Pipe Wrench in the Atomic Shop, and then use it to complete challenges that will unlock new cosmetic and consumable rewards. This says earn lunchboxes, perk card packs, and repair kits by defeating enemies with your Heart Wrencher every day during the Spread the Love event. You can also claim outfits and even a new variation of the Backwoods Bungalow by completing weekly challenges with your Heart Wrencher equipped. So I kind of like this because this is potentially a new way to start doing events and get people to maybe kill certain things a certain way, or make people play the game a little out of their comfort zone, or even if it's a little gimmicky or funny. I'm actually looking forward to this because it almost reminds me of what was it, the Easter event, where if you collected so many Deathclaw eggs for free via the Atomic Shop, you eventually got the bunny mask. So now I'm thinking if maybe they're using something like that as an example, and they're like, okay, maybe not as many people logged in, maybe we can make it more interactive, maybe we can start making challenges. Like I think today's is maybe I think it's kill like 30 robots and then kill some other on the side. I forget exactly what it is. I actually am in favor of something like this. This also makes me think of way back when When you load into the game, there was certain passives, we'll call them, in effect. One of the most memorable ones was like if you had a bunch of toys in your inventory, like in your junk tab, if it was like toy cars or something like that, I think you got radiation resistance. So that was like a really like out there thing where when I saw that, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I don't know where the game's going with this, but I want to see where it takes us. I kind of have a similar feeling about this. Um, Again, I would say if they're going to try to celebrate Valentine's Day like this, I'm curious to know what else they would add in the future. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that. Now for the bug fixes. For allies, the Settler Forager corrected missing player dialogue options for him. Okay, that's good. Arts and graphics. Apparel got multiple fixes. Anything between texture issues or certain things not lining up correctly. There's various decor items and lighting effects as well. I would say definitely check out the patch notes on the site. Get caught up on some of these that I'm kind of skimming through. So for camp and workshops, we have an exploit. Address an exploit affecting item storage in the stash box. Shelters. It is now easier to place structures like the CD shed, backwoods bungalow, and others inside a shelter, as long as there's enough space to do so. Stairs. Stairs can now snap to the front of the Brotherhood of Steel Scout Tower. And the Super Mutant Tube. Players can no longer get stuck inside Super Mutant tubes while building them. So that kind of interests me because I just imagine how many people were placing those and just kind of accidentally walking into it and then getting stuck. Although I would almost want to do that as like a prank for somebody maybe shopping at a vendor or something. Challenges World, the Discover Beckley sub-challenge for Discover Cows in the Ash Heap challenge can now be completed. Daily Ops Rewards. Fix an issue that could result in no rare reward being granted if the item the player would have received was a non-tradable item plan that they already learned. Now players will always receive a reward when this occurs. So kind of going back to Daily Ops, I'm happy to know that all the plans that I've kept and not learned on my characters should also help me kind of dictate the game on how it should drop things. There's multiple plans that I have that I've been able to get and I haven't learned and I've been patient. And then with this update coming out and rumors of how this update was going to work, I said to myself, all right, let me just not learn it on multiple characters if possible, or at least a character that I know I would run it in the future. Especially that if you want to sell some of these plans and then everybody starts to have them learned and they don't have spare, let's just say, you can just go back, run the event, and then kind of, again, narrow what you could drop if the game is needing to drop, let's say, something from that rare pool. So as we do daily ops tonight and moving forward, I'm curious to know if my patience will have paid off or not. Also, Operational Report addressed a visual issue that could incorrectly mark reward tiers as already earned in the Daily Ops Operation Report. It says, please note, Daily Op rewards were set at 12 p.m. Eastern Time each day. Diseases, radworms. Radworms now only increase radiation damage taken from consuming food and drinks. I don't know what the other effect it was doing, but hey, works for me. Enemies spawning. Fix an issue causing enemies to spawn grouped together at an incorrect location. I've seen some of that happening with the horde events. Sometimes you spawn on a horde event, and then all of a sudden there's just like 7 super mutants within like a little 3-foot radius, not even. Same thing, I've seen it with Liberator hordes. Maybe that's what it means. Giant hermit crabs. Players can no longer clip through giant hermit crabs. Yeah, their hitbox and actual mass didn't really make sense. Now for the items and various fixes. There are fixes from apparel, flora, magazines, to mods, to plans, power armor, and weapons. There's various updates here. I encourage going over these, kind of skimmed through them, and there's a couple of things that I think are gonna affect some people, but not so much me in my day to day, and some of us in our community over here. Again, anything that's a fix in these kind of lists is gonna work. Onto mutations. Plague Walker. The Plague Walker mutation description no longer incorrectly states that it removes disease durations. This is only a description change. The mutation's functionality has not been adjusted. Okay, keep that in mind. NPCs. Now we have some fixes for Brotherhood NPCs, Scribe, Valdez, Vendors, Settlers, and the Putnam Brothers. Now this affects things from nuking Brotherhood of Steel members to issues with Scribe Valdez. Again, check out the patch notes to find out more. Performance and stability, always love seeing these. The first one, client stability, fix multiple crashes that could occur during combat. I've run into many crashes over time in combat, and I can never link if there's a pattern or, I shouldn't do this the next time because it might cause a crash. A lot of those times it seems random. So any those sort of bugs I run into, I do hope that's what it's addressing. Client stability, address the crash that could occur while scrolling the notes tab in the Pip-Boy. I've never crashed while scrolling through my notes. That's super useful then. Connectivity, fix an issue that could cause PC players to receive a disconnected due to modified game files error during normal gameplay and kick them from their current world. I would say of the PC content creators that I'm able to check out, I don't recall seeing any of that live, so I don't know how widespread that was. Performance, there's a few of these. Oh, sorry, and then one more, there's the server stability one. Address an issue that could cause a server crash. I was mentioning this just a couple days ago, just saying I'm hopeful that you see these more and more, even if it's not specific. There's still a bunch of issues that people run into, and again, anything that keeps people in the game from crashing is going to be great, especially during events like Scorch Beast Queen or something that if somebody gets kicked out, they might not be able to come back in time or at all. But now again, for performance, there is issues that were addressed and things that might cause the game client to hitch related to the Pip-Boy, the aid tab, and sorting things by spoil. And then it also says fix an issue that could result in frame rate drops inside for Atlas. Okay, good to know. On to perks. We have Dodgy. Dodgy now has a 2-second cooldown on AP drain. The damage reduction is still active during the AP cooldown. This prevents players' AP from completely draining when hit by high rate of fire weapons. So that's also going to affect somebody, let's say at a Scorch Beast Queen, or even a normal Scorch Beast, as you experience a crop dusting from one of them. That perk will help you, let's say, negate some of the damage, but you quickly would have normally ran out of AP, so we'll keep an eye on that. Friendly fire, so I know this is a big one. The health regeneration effects of friendly fire no longer stack. Heal faster. This makes it so all weapons heal the same rate. So I'm excited to see that friendly fire should be helping even more people, and now it no longer stacks the health regen, but making it heal faster. So that should help again in certain scenarios if you're doing events and trying to keep something or someone alive. Keep an eye on that. Stabilized. Fix an issue that prevented stabilized from working correctly while wearing power armor. Super duper. Fanfare and sound effects no longer incorrectly play when crafting legendary items. Yeah, I thought that was a little weird. It'll pop off, but you don't actually get duplicate or anything like that. Onto quests and events. Storming Discovery has a couple of fixes here. We have Dogwood Die Off. Fashnot Day got a few. field testing, mother of invention, and a few others. But going back to Foshnot Day, because we'll be running into this sooner than later, players will now correctly earn 3-star legendary items upon event completion. So no more 1 stars or anything like that. And next time we do this, I wish everybody luck because during the last so many Foshnot days that we have run, it's dipped into the pool of air arms when people didn't have that learned. So the ability to, again, dip into something like that, maybe even Warglaves, might provide people an opportunity to get a weapon just to test it out and then be like, oh, I need to actually unlock the plan for this or something like that. So I hope that could be a domino effect of sorts. Super Mutant Suiciders will no longer continue to spawn after Fashnot ends. Um, I never firsthand ran into that, but I do know people who didn't necessarily farm it out, but ran into an issue where there was just nonstop Super Mutant spawning for some reason after the event, and it was like kind of killing them over and over again. Again, have not seen that firsthand. Address an issue that could cause the Master of Ceremonies to spawn outside of the event area. Have seen something like that. The Robotics Expert perk can no longer be used to hack the Parade Marcher bots. Had no idea that was the thing. Looting porcelain steins during the Fashnot Day event no longer prevents players from picking up additional porcelain steins during the Fashnot on that same world. All right, and there's a few others again in terms of the quests and events. Jumping on down to user interface. Atomic Shop, once owned, the Brotherhood of Steel icon now correctly appears in the player's icon page in the Atomic Shop. Fast travel. Added an error message when trying to fast travel to a camp that a player is too close to. Um, the map got a couple of fixes in terms of vending machines and uh, while viewing in a terminal if you were to open up the map. There's a few notification fixes, fix an issue where fanfare would sometimes not play after completing a timed challenge. Perk coins fixed a visual issue that could cause players' perk coin total to display an incorrect number of perk coins after scrapping perk cards. Okay. Pip-Boy, some quest, scoreboard, social menu fixes, and I'll say the team UI. The team UI will no longer flash while repairing items at the workbench. I've noticed something like that, but not bad enough where it's game breaking or anything like that. And last but not least, a couple of world fixes. Says fix several locations in the world where players could become stuck. And I don't know if any of the places I've been stuck in will be fixed, and I don't want to find out. And the last one, fix several locations where players could view out of world. So again, I think there's some areas that I have fast traveled to and ended up in a rock face looking through the world, or again spawning somewhere and getting stuck. So run into issues like this. I hope that's kind of addressed and others don't have to run into that. But to kind of give some final thoughts on today's patch. Besides everybody and myself being very excited for the stash going from 800 to getting that 50% boost to 1200, that's great. I don't think we should be asking for any more anytime soon. I don't imagine it going to, I don't know, 1200, sorry, 2000 from 1200. Maybe in the future, who knows, maybe 1600. I don't know. Let's not speculate. I think hopefully this is it. Hopefully we don't need more than this. Again, we have all our own hoarding problems, but onto the other couple of things again that they mentioned. For me, going from base to base and visiting vendors and what people are selling, being able to see the legendaries before I get there is going to help, and not just being able to see legendaries at people's bases, but being able to see my own legendaries, my own armor in its own tab. Again, they split up the categories in the Pip-Boy. I think that sounds like it's going to be very useful, especially the recent tab, the stash and stack weight, and all these other things that are being added. Great quality of life update. Again, some people kind of stopped at the stash limit increase, and that's all they really cared about. But all these other things seem like they'll kind of be a nice, let's say, a path to the next quality of life update. What else can we expect? Is there going to be a lot more tweaking? Is there going to be a lot of little, let's say, updates or things that derive from community feedback or community suggestions. And anytime we see something exactly where they're quoting, oh, given feedback on this area, we've implemented X, Y, and Z, that's great. That shows that they're listening to the community actively and seeing how they can improve when they can improve these areas. But yeah, January 26th, good patch, quality of life. Until next time.